What's up, my geeks? Jeffrey Powers here from Geekazine, Think Magazine. Put into geek and you got me. Let's lower that a little bit. How you doing? It is a beautiful Thursday. Thursday, I think it is. Yeah, Thursday. So, and today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be taking a look at a program that I use a lot, and I'm talking a lot when I do my video production. It's a program called vMix, and I should have probably pulled up the web page on there. I wonder if I could do that really quick. Anyway, vMix is a program that you can use to create a more rich environment. vMix, just vMix. A more enriched environment with your cameras, and basically creating a live studio in what you have here. Let's switch it over here. And yeah, I didn't set that up correctly, but if I do this, that's the beauty of vMixes. You can then figure out where everything is. There we are. And then hit that button right there. There we go. That's vMix right there. It's a live production streaming software, be with a lot of great features in there, including the ability to bring in people via different methods, whether it be an SRT, whether it be Zoom, whether it be whatever, and allow you to create an environment in what you do. And everything that I do, I've always used switching software, and and I still use different types of software. Of course, I've used Wirecast, I use OBS, the newer one, Meld. I've tried that. It's pretty interesting, but vMix seems to be the one that I gravitate to nowadays, where I can do a lot more because I am doing a lot more with the machines that I have, not only just creating a show like this one to get out to you guys, but also something that I can create that I can later bring in and do some post production. Like, for instance, when I take the cameras out and I record a live band or I record a presentation, we can bring that in, bring it in the studio, do the editing, and send it out to you and create some great stuff. We are live on YouTube, we're live on LinkedIn, we're live on Twitch, we're live on everywhere else. Plus, I'm recording it just in case things go cattywampus on the recording on the live streaming end. So, but we do have chats somewhere around here that you can easily go to get more information. And speaking of more information, a little bit about me, I run a website called Geekazine over at geekazine.com. Not that right there. I did the wrong thing. There we go. And with geekazine.com, what you can do, basically, we just went through all the CES content. So I just posted about the Yarbo device that actually mows your lawns, blows your snow and your leaves and everything like that, and a whole bunch more. You can see all of that over at geekazine.com easily peasily, and you're good to go. But you can also find me over at Geekazine everywhere, whether it be X, Twitter, whether it be Facebook, whether it be LinkedIn or whatnot. You can find me Geekazine, geekazine.com, youtube.com/Geekazine. You can like, subscribe, comment, bell notification, of course, so you know when the next video comes out. All right. So we've done all the gratitudes and the stuff like that. Looks like everything is up and running. It looks like yeah. So let's go ahead and start talking about vMix and start talking about how it gets utilized. Now, I wanted to start at this point because vMix is coming out with a major update to their software. It's basically called vMix 28, which is now, I believe, in public release. Let me double check that here. So yeah, but you download it through the front page. And the cool thing about this is when you download it, you can get a 28 or not 28, excuse me. I believe it's a 60-day free trial off of this. So you can really get into the guts of vMix and figure out how to use it. And there's a lot of productions, a lot of people that are using this in their productions, and not just YouTubers, but also higher end productions. And some of these shows that you might think, oh, well, they've got some super professional high end hardware. And no, they're using probably a laptop and vMix, or a computer and vMix, and maybe two versions of vMix. Every now and then I have to go one to the other. like we're doing today. We're going to be showing you all the features. I'm going to be using this computer. By the way, this computer right here, I think I got it set up. Okay, yeah, this computer right here is a HP. Let's zoom in a little bit so you can see it. This is an HP Fury, the G1611 model, which is a really amazing machine, which has got the Core i9 Ultra, mobile Core i9 processor inside. It can do up to 128 gigabytes of RAM. It can do up to 4 terabytes worth of storage inside here. And I use this when I go out. Like I said, I go out and do a band, and we record 4 cameras and try and bring it back in the studio to get these recordings all done. So excuse me, it's also got the ability to do a lot more. So I have the editor software on there, so I can do some editing. DaVinci Resolve. I have Adobe Premiere Pro on here as well, and be able to create content and then turn around and get it out to you as quick as possible. So anyway, but this is the computer we're going to be using here today. And then of course, vMix 28, which once again is the newest version of vMix. And you can get it in 2 different flavors. If you go down, there's going to be a couple links down below over at YouTube. Over at YouTube, over at LinkedIn, that you can get yourself the copy. There's an HD version, and then there's a 4K version. This is the 4K version that we're using right now. So I'm going to tell you one thing. You might see this as we go. It's a little bug that I'm already seeing right here on this machine. And I'll show you right here. Every now and then, what it's going to do is you're going to see in the bottom corner here, bottom left-hand corner here, you're going to see it's going to get red when it says 1080p 2997. And it's basically saying that the GPU is being overloaded. I do not see any indication that the GPU is being overloaded. So I'm thinking that that's a small little bug that needs to be fixed. Once again, since this is the newer version, it's definitely going to need to, we'll see a couple bugs come through. But now that we've got it ready to go, I want to check out some of the really cool features. And the first feature that I'm really been really excited about is the Telestrator feature. This is the ability to actually draw onto the screen. And not only is something where I can draw on the screen, but I can take my tablet and be able to use it more remotely. So I can do things like draw on the screen without being in front of the computer. Of course, I do have my computers right in front of me, but if I'm doing something where I've moved everything off to the side, or let's say I am doing a presentation and you guys want to see that presentation, and I've got, I want to do some telestration in the presentation, I can do that through here. It's pretty amazing. Telestrators have, you see them on football games and sporting events where they can draw around people's faces, or they can do plays, and you get the John Madden, here you gotta go, he's going over left and going over right, and then he's bringing it all up and down and all around, and here we are, and we're here. And now you'll have the ability to do that. I have the ability to do that. And it's a really cool feature. Now, the Telestrator feature, I did not check to see if it's something that the HD version can do. I will, just to say that as a caveat, I do have the 4K version. I'm assuming that the HD version, the non 4K version, also does this. But we'll check the document. Let's check the documentation really quick. Give me 1 second. You plan for these things, and you plan, you do your research, and then all of a sudden you're doing the show and you're thinking to yourself, wait a minute, can this do this? Telestrator. Let's go to the page anyway. So it says on the web page, and there's a full user guide. In fact, if you want to see that user guide, let's do that. Boom. There's the user guide right there. And it's basically saying Telestrator is an input with a transparent background that can be drawn onto a web browser. Telestrator is available in vMix 4K, Pro, and Max. Okay. So to use this feature, you will need 4K, the Pro or the Max, and that's the other versions that you have. I usually I for me the 4K is perfect for what I do, because the price level is the big factor here. Uh, the for when you get to the Pro and Max, you're talking over $1,000, and it's also going to be a system that can do a lot more. Let's say you got 20, 30 people that or 20, 30 cameras that you have to control. That that's when this comes in. You really have a beefy system. You really have a system that can do whatever you need it to do. That's when you pull out the Pro or Max. But for what I do, 4K is where I pretty much draw the line in the sand, which is fine with me. I have no problems with that. So let's checking a couple things here. All right. So with that said, I want to hear myself really quick. Hold on a second. All right, perfect. I am fine. I am fine. So anyway, let's go ahead and show you how this works because I'm really excited about this because new features and the ability to do new features means that I have the ability to do cool things. And this has got some pretty cool stuff in here. So let's go ahead. We're going to go over to the vMix screen here. All right, there we go. So here we got the vMix screen, completely blank, brand new screen. There's no, I didn't create any inputs on this or anything like this. This is once again running off of the laptop. And so this, the process is actually very, very straightforward. All you have to do, if you've never seen this before, that's fine. We're going to show you really quick here. First of all, what we're going to do is we're going to hit the add input. That's down here on the bottom, and then I'll bring everything up here. I've got several different options here, and one is my NDI desktop. And as you can see, it'll show you all my NDI creations. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to this one right here. This is the camera that you just saw me on, the front facing camera. Boom. And that's instantly going to put that on there. So there might be a slight delay as we're going. Keep that in mind because I am going from one computer to the other. So now we just have my video. I'm just talking. We can create more scenes. I can actually create, let's go ahead and create the one of the other NDI inputs, and we can do desktops. We could do whatever. So we're going to go to my overhead. This is the second camera that you just saw. So as we do the quick play, you'll see that back and forth. So now we have here and here. We're good to go. So now we have two different cameras. I'm going to take out the audio. I just realized that the audio will automatically mix. So I'm going to uncheck that here. I'm going to do the same thing here because I don't want to have any type of echo happening. All right. And no audio is going to come through here because we don't need any type of audio through here at all. Now what we're going to do is we're going to simply create the Telestrator. And there's going to be two parts, but I want to come here first. So we go to the add input and we'll go to Telestrator. And you'll notice up on top, it says, please enable Telestrator under settings, web control first. Okay. So we'll go here and say, okay, and we'll close that. Whoops, we'll hit cancel, excuse me, not okay. And in order to do this, what we're going to do is we're going to go up to settings. And inside settings, you go down to where it says web controller. Now, before I do that, I'm going to put up my little block here. There we go. And we go to web controller. Poof. Now, the web controller, this is actually something that's already running onto your machine. So, because you can do a lot more with the, oh, something crashed. Well, that's crazy. What do you know? It crashed. Let's turn that off. There we go. That was interesting. Hopefully I can do this again. We are, like I said, I am getting these GPU overloads, but I did look at the system resources, and I'm not seeing anything that's overloading it. So might have another issue on here. Let's hope that I can get this fixed, that this will not be a problem. Oops, I did the wrong thing. So let's close that out. There we go. Add input. And I'm going to do this again. So I'm adding in mine. And we're taking out the audio. And then we're going to add another input. I might have to send this down to like 720p, which is okay, since we're not doing any real creation here. Let's just do the two cameras. I might even just switch out to one camera. There we go. And we're just going to save it and we're going to call it test. So if we run into another crash, we can definitely bring that back in. All right. So you're not seeing anything right now. So what we're going to do is we're going to create this and we're going to bring this overlay. We're going to bring this back in. All right. So if I go to the settings and I go to web controller, that's the web controller right there. This right here is your website address, which is why I have that little blue box in the way. This is how you get to it. So basically, you'll have an IP address, which is the computer's IP address, and then the port of 8088, which you can change if you want to be able to do the Telestrator. Underneath that, you're going to see the Telestrator option. We just have to check that. And then it says output 2, but we want output 1. I want to have it on my actual screen as we go, the main thing, the main item here. We have an option for a username and password. If you put a password in, you can then go to these check boxes and say the Telestrator does not need to be logged into to use. Otherwise, if you put in a username and password, when you put in the IP address and the 8088, what will happen is it will then ask you to log in, and you log in, and of course it'll use it. So once we've done that, that's all we need to do from here. And that is done. I'm going to hit save so I can have that saved, and we'll get rid of that little blue bar. All right. So now I have everything back and I have it saved just in case anything goes to kaplooey. We're going to hit our add input and we're going to go right back down to Telestrator. Now we've got a green. Click OK to add Telestrator input. Awesome. So we click OK. And there's our Telestrator. Doesn't look like much, just a blank screen. But that's okay. That's what we want. What this it does is it becomes an overlay, and you can set it up an overlay. I have it set up as an overlay on my Stream Deck. You can definitely set up Stream Deck buttons for this if you've got Companion and you got Stream Deck. There's many different ways to do that. So to simply put the Telestrator on, we hit 4. And now it's on as a Telestrator. And let me show you, because this is going to come from the other machine, and it might look a little bit choppy because I do have it on Wi-Fi. I don't have it plugged in directly. I should have, but I wanted to kind of really play with the idea. So as you can see, it's a little bit choppy. We won't stick to that too long. We'll go over here so you can see this a little bit better. And I'm definitely seeing something here, even though the CPU is showing 2% and a total of 10%, that it is not happening here. So, all right. But nonetheless, we have that set up that way, and we can quick play back to that. We're going to switch over to here. Easy, quick play, but the Telestrator is still active. So now we have the Telestrator set up. And so now we can go ahead and get this working. So in order to do that, once again, remember that IP address that I blocked at the 8088. That's what we're going to do from our tablet. So I've got an iPad here, but I can also, it's a web-based, so you can use any tablet. If you've got an Amazon Fire, if you've got a Android tablet, iPad, you just basically call up a web page, and you call up the IP address, and then well, I'll show you. We'll bring it down here. Boom, like this. And there's the web page with the IP address. The main IP address will get you to this little interface thing right here. And I will show you the interface. Zoom in a little bit and down and went a little bit too far, but there we go. Zoom in. So this is the interface right here. As you can see, we have many different options. You can choose to do some of the switching through here. You can definitely add and bring in text and all these other things, the live LAN. So media can't be loaded. That's okay. Let's bring that back. But what we want is the Telestrator, and that's this right here. And as you can see, okay, now we have a fun little thing with the Telestrator. So what I'm going to do is with this, I'm going to switch back to my main look here. There we go. So now that's not going to do that. We've got Telestrator ability now. So down on the bottom here, you're going to see a whole bunch of little options. We can change the latency if you're running into any problems, normal to low, just by simply clicking on the button right here. We have video on, we have drawing on. We can turn the video off and then back on. It does not affect the video on the vMix, just on the tablet here. So if you're running into problems, is basically turn it off and then turn it back on to switch back and forth. And then same thing on the drawing, you can turn that off and on. That way you could draw something on the screen, and instead of erasing it, you can just basically turn it off to see the person once again. So on the left, we have our color scheme. So we can change the color of our drawing utensil. We can change the pixel size of the utensil. Right now, we've got it at 8. And then, of course, what we want to add on here. We'll start from left to right. The first one we have is a drawing tool, followed by a box tool, followed by a circle tool, followed by a picture. And once you click on that, you'll be given, whoops, is that the right thing? Yeah. You'll be given different options for pictures, like the thought balloon. And I don't know if there's a way to actually add things to it, but these are the options that we have right now. We have a numbering system, which is really cool. So you can put, like, if I wanted to show you 1, 2, 3 things you should do in an order, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you can definitely do that. And then this one right here is actually a laser pointer. So you can point to where you are and see that from there. If you make a mistake in your drawing, you can do the back button. And then finally, we have the trash and then the full screen, full size option where you can bring it full size. So with that, we're going to start with just a basic drawing. So we'll do a yellow circle around my head. You see that? There it is right there. And if we go over to here, there you see the yellow. We'll just delete it and then add it again. Yellow circle. Just like that. All right. So now we put the yellow circle on there. Let's go ahead and there we are. If we turn the drawing off, oh, I think I misunderstood that drawing off. Drawing off, if I do that, I don't think I can draw on the, I can't draw on the screen, but I can turn it back on and then I can do a drawing again, another drawing. So we've got our drawing, simple, straightforward, easy peasy. We'll delete that. Let's move over to the box. And whoops, yeah, let's move over to the box. So basically all we have to do is then drag and drop. And there we have the box over there, in which you would see right here. So there's the box on the screen. All right. Next thing is the circle, just like the box. Whoops. Did that a little bit wrong. Let's do that again. It's a center point thing. So put it in the center, like for instance on my nose, right there, and draw the circle around there. There we go. And now I have a circle, and you'll see it right here. There's the circle. Perfect. And then finally, we can put our little things in here. And once again, it's also a point and then resize. So let's say my Geekazine logo back here, I want to have a check mark right there. You didn't see that, but as you can see, it regrew. I'm going to do that again so you can see that. There we go. So there's the check mark. And as you would see that, boom, there's the check mark right there over my old Geekazine logo. So with that, we have that option. Let's delete it all. Finally, the last two things. The first one is the point. So let's say how to build a studio. I'm talking about how you're building the studio, and I'll say point number one is this Devoom Pixu 64, and I'll put that there. And then going and getting yourself some artwork. I got this really nice Geekazine logo for my artwork, and then some of my 3D printed designs are right over here. And then of course check out my microphone. So as we go over back over here, you'll notice all of these have numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, and then of course the next one's 5. Boop, right there, right in the middle of my nose. Go figure. So anyway, so we've got all of our points here, and it's just going to go to the next one. That's 6. So let's go ahead and delete that. Finally, we have that laser pointer, and I love this. I wanted to show you with the other one, but once again, the repeating on the screen is going to mess that up. But if I'll show you from here first. If I just basically touch on the screen, there's a red dot. And if you see it from here, there is right. Oops, turned off my pen. There right there is my Geekazine logo. There right there is my Geekazine logo. And there I am right there. How you doing? That was weird. Okay. We can also, it's basically just showing you. You can just point to different things and show them, hey, look over here, look over here, look over here. Now, as I'm doing this, I'm noticing that I should probably go and maybe full screen will fix that. What's happening is if I hold this down too much, I'll just show you here. If I hold this down too much, the iPad is going to think that I want to do something like a copy or paste. And then I've got writing tools here. So that's a small little bug that vMix needs to look at. But if you're not using an iPad, if you can put this on, I've got a Wacom tablet over there. I've been thinking about putting this on. You can easily call up a web page from your browser on the machine you're on another machine and use it that way. So, but then you can do the laser pointer and go from there. So I would, it looks bad, but it's easily manageable. The one thing I did notice was when I was drawing, if I draw anything, I'll show you, if I draw anything where I take the pencil and go down like this, it will try to capture the screen somehow. And I'll show you really quick. So I'll do this and I'll bring this down. Oh, now it's not going to do it. It's going to work perfectly. It's working perfectly. Dang it. Anyway, so what it was doing last time was it was not really allowing me to do this right off the bat. But look at this. There we go. There's my snout. And now if I move away. So even if let's say I do this, let's go over here. There we go. And then I just cut out. Actually, I could just do a quick play. And now that's the Telestrator itself. That's just the Telestrator. So there's my image right there. And then I'll go back to quick playing back to this screen right here and try and get into the right position there. There we go. So as you can see, you could do a lot more from there. So like, for instance, it's a great idea. Instead of basically choosing the overlay, you turn off the overlay and you just say quick play, and that'll bring this back up. And now this becomes like a whiteboard. I don't have a way to do anything like changing the background color, but maybe you could get like you could definitely set up in vMix a white background, green background, or anything like that, and be able to set it up. So you could, but this is set up like a chalkboard. So let's go ahead and change the color to white. There we go. We'll go back over here. And now it's like I'm on a chalkboard. Let's delete everything. I think I had there we go. So number 1, create. Yeah, it's doing that again. Create inputs. Two, set up Telestrator. There we go. I was using my finger there. 3, hopefully I was hoping that wouldn't set that off. So 3, set as overlay. And keep in mind, this is just this little problem that I'm having with this. You're not seeing, of course. Let's do this so you can see this here. So this little problem where it's trying to get the whole highlight. That's only on the iPad right now. I haven't tried it with the Android, so it might not happen like that. So number 4. And what's 4? 4 is Telestrator. There we go. So now if we go back over here, there's my, that's what I just set up right there. And it looks like I needed to, I went over the edge on the Telestrator on this part right here. There is no erase option here. So I couldn't erase this part right here to fix. I'd have to do some undos to make that happen. Or maybe if I change this to a black pen, and then we'll go up to 20. Look at that. There we go. There's our erase right there. We need a higher number than 20. No, 24 is the size you can go. Go with that. All right, close. There we go. Get that. Okay, now we can go back and change the color. Let's go back over here. Change the color to white. So basically what I did was I changed the color to black, and then, oops. And we could do grid spectrum and sliders if we want to, or we can do a dropper of that. So we're going to go back to black. I set this to 24 right here. So I hit that. 24 is the highest number you can go. And then back to draw. And then I was just basically drawing on the screen. Simple as that. So now I can change this back to white. Oops. And change this back to 8. And say up till. Another thing is this is not an actual Apple Pencil. This is a third-party one. So maybe that has. There we go. So now when we go over here, that's going to look a little bit better. So not really have an erase feature, but we can kind of fake that erase feature. But if we change the background, or if I put in, like if I went back into this one right here, and put up the Telestrator option, you'll see a lot of black right there. In fact, we'll do this. You'll see all the black right there. So it doesn't technically work as an erase, but if you're just using the black as a blackboard feature, it'll work just fine. All right. So now we're going to go ahead and delete this. The last one, of course, is the ability to do that laser pointer. So once again, if I do that, look at that. I got a little laser pointer. It's moving around. And what's really interesting, I'll show you here, it's showing me technically two different dots. You also saw that when you expanded the box or expanded the circle, it's like two because it's feeding back from the screen. So if I put the dot there, let's see if you can see this and move it around. You see how that dot's moving around? That's just a little bit of latency that's happening. And then of course that blue is the iPad thinking I want to highlight a portion of the screen. So anyway, let's do that. Now we're back here and we're good to go. And I think once again, if I do that, yeah, look at that. That is something that probably needs to be fixed on here. But there are other ways to do this. And if you're looking to use this way or this system this way. So, all right. So now what we can do is I can go ahead and I can draw a smiley face on me. Weird smiley face. I hate that smiley face. Let's do that again. A smiley face with teeth or grill or whatever, and be able to do a lot of different things like the check boxes and let's see, things like that. Or this one right here. Don't get one of these. I'm kidding. You can get one of these, but we'll just put a little X right there. Don't get one of these. How's that? There we go. Don't get one of these. Back and forth. And then of course you're good to go on your content creation. So that is Telestrator in a nutshell. Or is that a nutshell in a nutshell? One of the two things. I don't know. But hopefully that helps you guys. It definitely helped me because once again, this is new technology inside of vMix. And the one thing that I did notice once again is the problems that happen when you're on the iPad. You can do this on any device. In fact, let me just pull it up here and I'll bring in the IP address. Oops. 8088. And then even on the phone, you can go here and you can draw on there easily. And in fact, if you look at the phone, you see how that is. It actually also drew it on the iPad. So if you have two people that are doing different things, you will see the same Telestrator happen on all the devices. That's using, I don't know if it's using RTSP or NDI. I'm assuming it's NDI, like a low NDI, to make sure that you see the video and then it comes back and forth. But it could be an RTSP. I haven't delved deep into that part just yet. But as you can see, I could be doing all the lines, somebody else could be doing the numbers or the check boxes or whatnot, and you can really delegate out that idea. And another thing that is sounding that I'm thinking will actually really be nice for this is if you have somebody in another room or in another location and you want them to be able to control your screen and Telestrate on your screen, you basically have to set up, like a VPN so they can remote into your network and be able to add and Telestrate from your device. or be able to switch back and forth. I mean, well, look at this. Even with my my system right here, I can switch back and forth between all of my shots. So we'll just do that. Boom, I'm back to this shot. And if somebody is doing this remotely, it's not going to be as much of that much of a problem. And then finally, if you, I think I got that. There we go. If you do the overlay, now we'll see this in a little bit more, a better light. There we go. Now I can do telestration on my system right there. Easy peasy. I'm not sure. Is that doing the, yeah, it's only doing the single. Okay, there we go. And there we go. And that's directly off of this main one. That's not off on the laptop, but my main machine, as my laptop still looks like that. Well, actually, that's a telestration on top of a telestration. That's pretty cool. But as you can see, I have the ability to telestrate and do a lot more. And I'm noticing now it's not doing that same problem that it did with the other one. So let's just make sure. So I'll go one, set. Yeah, I'm not seeing that same problem. That's interesting. There we go. Now it's doing it. That was weird. Excuse me. Come on. There we go. There we are. So you have to watch out for that, unfortunately. But if you got it mastered, you should be able to set that up easy peasy. How cool is that? A little bit of telestration simply through a piece of software like vMix. Now, once again, you do need the Pro or the Max. I'm sorry, the 4K, the Pro, or the Max version. The HD version will not have it. But if you're using it for the first time, that 60-day model will allow you to use it in high definition. Excuse me, high definition, and be able to test it out and see if this is something that you want to add into your workflow. And if you don't need the Telestrator, let's do that. And if you don't need the Telestrator, all you have to do is turn it off. I'm turning it on and off, and you're not noticing that I'm turning it on and off. So that's pretty sweet from this little guy right here. There we go. This little guy right here, allowing us to create whatever we need to create through the telestration. Cool. Check marks everywhere. Check marks everywhere. Whoops. Stay in full screen. Yeah, definitely having some problems with that. Something that vMix needs to definitely look at. So, all right. I think that does it for me. I don't see any questions in the chat. Let me just look at some of the chats there. Yeah, I don't see any questions in the chat. So thank you guys very much for watching. Here we are. Lots of check marks. Thank you guys very much for watching. We'll turn that off. And if you have any questions, feel free to go over to Geekazine, geekazine.com, youtube.com/Geekazine, and like, subscribe, comment, bell notification, so you know when the next video comes out. So thanks again, and you guys geek out. And I hope that this finds is useful to you. I'm going to do a few more as we go, find some of the new features, and hopefully the folks over at vMix saw the little woes that I ran into and be able to fix. Definitely that GPU issue. And maybe it was doing something in the background causing the GPU issues. So it looks like it's calmed down from now, but I'm definitely going to be testing that and going from there. But if you have any questions, definitely contact me, and yeah, we'll go from there. So until next time, you guys geek out. Thanks a lot for watching. And this is creating the Telestrator for YouTube, for whatever, through your vMix session. Take care.